The Torah in this week's Parsha juxtaposes two different Parshas, two different topics of halachos, the Sotah and the Naso. The Parsha, the Sotah, which teaches us about the wayward wife, the woman who is suspected and has done more to elicit that suspicion from her husband, and now has to go through the entire process in order to either prove her innocence or to be punished for the error in judgment that she made. The Torah also tells us about the Nazir, the person who has decided to separate himself, wanting to become elevated in Kedusha, elevated in holiness, becoming closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and has chosen to do so by separating from certain aspects of this world, by letting his hair grow, by not being metame, not defiling himself to a mace, and by separating himself to wine. And Chazal ask, what's the Lama nismecha Parshas Sotah, the Parshas Nazir. Why are these? Is there a juxtaposition between these two topics? And Chazal teach us that the Torah is coming. That the Torah is coming to hint us that Kol haroa Sotah b'kukula Yazir atzmo min hayayin. The reason that Sotah comes before Nazir is because the Nazir is the response to seeing the Sotah. See, the person who sees the Sotah realizes what caused this person to potentially go awry. One of the ingredients which potentially leads somebody astray is indulging too much in wine. That shichrus, that being drunk, and that lightheadedness and lightheartedness which comes about, that kalos rosh, which comes about from drinking, causes a person to err in their judgment. So kol haroa Sotah b'kukula, somebody who sees what happens to the Sotah, Yazir atzmo min hayayin, should separate himself from wine. And many have discussed why exactly. Maybe you would think that person is not the person who has to. That person saw the results. Why does he have to? And many explain that it teaches us that we have to take all the things that we witness and all the things that we see, we have to take them to heart. But what's very, very interesting is that as much as the Chazal are highlighting for us the connection between Nazir and Sotah, and the explanation seems to be that Kol haroa Sotah b'kukula Yazir atzmo min hayayin, the person who sees what happens to the Sotah has to separate himself from the wine. When it comes to the order of the Masechtos in Torah Sheba'al Peh, when it comes to the Mishnayos and when it comes to the Gemara, the order is reversed. And we find that Maseches Nazir precedes Sotah. So if there's such a significance to the idea of Kol haroa Sotah b'kukula Yazir atzmo min hayayin, why would Chazal, when organizing the Torah Sheba'al Peh, the oral Torah, deviate and switch from the Torah Shebechsav? In the written Torah, we have the Sotah first, followed by the Nazir, while in the Torah Sheba'al Peh, we have the Nazir, which is then followed by Sotah. Why would that be? Why would that be? So Reb Tzadok in his Pri Tzadik suggests as follows. He asks the question of Torah Sin Wakadosh and Parshas Nazir, Achar Parshas Sotah. In the written Torah, the Nazir comes after Sotah. Torah Sheba'al Peh b'Gemara Nisader Maseches Nazir Kodem Maseches Sotah. This exact question: why is it that in the Torah Sheba'al Peh, Maseches Nazir comes prior to Maseches Sotah? And he explains that there's a fundamental difference in the role of Torah Shebechsav versus the role of Torah Sheba'al Peh. And he explains that Torah Shebechsav is the idea of being standing Kami Malka, in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And when a person stands in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, there's a certain clarity that exists. And everything that we experience and everything that we know and everything that we witness, we are then responsible to react to. We then need to make sure that we look for remuzim, we look for hints, we look for more that we can do with whatever it is that we experience. When you realize that something came from above, Hashem orchestrated it, that I am going to see this, that there's something that I need to do for it. That's what the role of Torah Shebechsav is. But you suggest that Torah Sheba'al Peh is using our Chachma. And when we're using our Chachma, then who is considered to be the Chacham? Haroa es Hanolad. The one who is able to anticipate what is going to happen as a result of my actions. That's what Torah Sheba'al Peh is about. Torah Sheba'al Peh is trying to use our minds in order to be able to anticipate a situation, is to realize, there's a potential that a Sotah situation could evolve, and I need to build gedarim, I need to build fences, I need to do things to make sure that is never going to happen. You know what I can do? I can be mazir myself min hayayin. I can separate from the pleasures of this world. And that's why Torah Sheba'al Peh, the Nazir, comes before the Sotah. Because it's before you ever get there, you tried to build those fences because I am Roa as Hanolet. I anticipate what could potentially come in the future. And the fact that we have a difference in Torah Sheba'al 7, Torah Sheba'al Peh, really reflects the two different roles that we need to take on in our Avodas Hashem. On the one hand, it is responding to the things that we see and the things that we experience and trying to figure out what message is HaKadosh Baruch Hu sending me by me having seen this. But on the other hand, there's also is the being anticipating, is to look ahead, is to try to be Roa as an Olad, to try to figure out what will allow me to succeed and what is potentially going to take away from all that I am trying to experience in life. So yes, Roa Sotah B'Kulkula, one who actually sees it, but the one who sees potentially what could happen will be Mazir himself in advance. Will make sure that such a situation never arises. And with that dual perspective of anticipating and at the same time being reactive, then we can have a shlemus, we can have a certain amount of completion in the way that we approach our Avodas Hashem.